Howdy, everyone. We're about a week into the new season, year two, or year two, year six, season three. New modifiers, new gear, new everything. Makes the game little bit more challenging than before. Posted a video, I guess, on the launch day of it, where we kind of went over like lightly what some of the modifiers are and what that means to the game. So if you're just kind of getting into it in your early in your journeys, we can talk about that a little too. Mostly want to chat through some of the newer gear and actually how it can make the game pretty fun from a skill build in terms of not only for solo play, but definitely for group play, for survivability. And as you learn more about how the NPCs get tougher as you advance through the journeys, you can see why this gear becomes really beneficial to a team. So you can have some real heavy hitters doing the most damage while you just kind of do damage to help keep everyone healed up. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll talk a little bit about some ways to advance in the journeys, which includes cheesing the range. You could do this in Season 2 as well, or yeah, Season 2. But let's take a look at that. So let me switch builds here. I haven't come up with witty names for everything yet, but this is the one that I've been using most recently with this. So definitely here I have 7 skill tiers, which is kind of wasteful. I probably could have had a different core. What this is really taking advantage of is the new Refactor gear set. So 2 pieces get 15% status effects. I'm not really taking advantage of status effects with this particular build, but you'll see with the modifiers for the season, there's a number of things that you get some benefits from, like explosives and things like that. So which can cause bleed and other things. So status effects may be beneficial, fire, etc. However, 3 pieces gives you 25% skill damage, which is really important. And then 4 pieces, this is where it becomes really important, is return to sender. You yourself get repairs of 10% of the damage dealt by your skills. This is really important, especially if you're in a skill build, because you're always squishy. So this will help to regenerate armor just by having your skills pick on things. Even if they can't take them down, you'll get that armor recovery. Now, your allies, so your teammates, this is where you really help them out. So if they're running DPS, again, squishy builds, because you need them to be doing the damage, they're going to get 20% of the damage dealt by your skills to receive repairs. That's awesome. That's a huge help. If you use the chest piece, backpack helps as well, but in this case, the chest piece, it just increases those repairs. So you now jump from 10% to 25%, and your team goes from 20 to 35%. You can sit there, you can have your armor broken, have no armor, and then your drone, turret, whatever, just start wailing on things, and you just see it ramp back up. If you're using something like seeker mines, especially clusters that are putting out over 1 million damage, 3 million damage, 4 million damage, like one pop from those, like fill your armor, pretty much fill your armor right back up. So you can really help keep your team up. You just have to make sure that you're doing the damage the entire time. Now, to do as much skill damage as possible, I've tried to throw in a few other pieces, using the Ninja Bike backpack just so I can get the 4-piece count here and then take advantage of the chest. With Hannah U, you get 10% skill haste and then 10% skill damage because it counts as 2-piece skill damage, skill haste across the board there. This isn't ideal. I mean, I could use a Wyvern here, but I guess it doesn't really matter because Wyvern only get 8% skill damage. So I take that back. Skill health is kind of meaningless, but it is what it is. But 10% skill damage bonus here because you have 2 pieces. So that helps out a lot. And then, of course, I mean, I have 7, but 6 tiers all the way around. I do have weapon damage and an armor core. I'm running my turret and drone, and yes, these are both 27s. You may not be far enough along at shade level to get there, but that's okay. Like, just, these pieces you should be getting. One thing to note, I've noticed along this season, is these 3 pieces, so basically the things that would be on the left side, all come with skill tiers. But the ones for the right side, backpack, gloves, and knees, all seem to come with armor. I have recalibrated, but like, yeah, they come with our armor core attribute. I don't know if that was intentional. I haven't really followed up to see if that was something that they intended to do or if they were all supposed to be skill tiers. Or maybe it's a way that they know that folks like to roll cores, so it helps kind of force that balance. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It does make it a little frustrating because unless you get one that comes with skill damage on it already, like you're forced to do something like this where it's like, okay, well, I'll take the armor core, but I don't want to have too much of it. I guess to your benefit, you could, if you really wanted, to not use the memento, you could go through and be like, or memento, ninja bike, you could use the backpack. You do get the over-engineered. So if you have full armor, you get bonus armor up to 80%. It doesn't apply to allies though. So maybe if you were doing solo stuff, this would be beneficial. Really, if you're staying in cover and it fills up, because then you can, move around or go do some things and let that bonus armor take the damage. But for now, this seems to work pretty good. I'm running the standard capacitor, Harmony, TDI card custom. TDI card custom isn't really outside of that, other than me having NSYNC on it, doesn't benefit me here because I already have 6 tiers. Maybe in hindsight, if I get some newer, well, I guess I could change on here, but like I could probably change this to like a weapon damage. That one I had to reroll, and same thing with that one. So like this one, I could probably change to a weapon damage and take advantage of that. Put out a little bit more there because I'll still have six cores. So that's that. Now, what we can show is, let's just go out into the wild real quick. We can even go over here, my favorite DUA. We can even throw this on legendary. I can make it at my current journey level through the first few sections. It's a slow process, but at least here you can get an idea of what happens when I take damage and how this recovers.
You've got your objective.
And watch me just like fall flat on my face here. That's how it goes sometimes. Do a little climbing. Recommend throwing your turret away from you just to draw less fire. But you'll also see in here, one of the things as you advance through your journey is if you stop, but see, look, it took damage, look at that armor come back. I'm not even doing anything, armor's back. There's a guy right there, let's get him. Alright, he's gone. Alright, so we got our mini tank friends, right? These are where I've already lost my drone, and I'll explain why it's already gone. Usually with my skill builds, it lasts a lot longer. Usually because I have 3-piece Empress, which gives me skill efficiency, which helps there. This is a modifier we'll talk about more too. And I'll explain. Oh, yeah, look at that. I'm going to take some damage. Hate the mini tanks. See, that mini tank's hard to kill. It's regenerating its own armor. Oh, I got this red over here now. Alright, he's done. Can't really hit that yellow from where I'm at, fortunately. At least I can have my turret work on something else. But look at this, I'm staying full armor. If I had just run one of my regular all yellow skill builds, I would have probably been dead or been through all my med kits. Something along those lines. If you haven't been playing, so when they have that little like logo of like a target above them and a line through it, that means they're blacklisted. They're worth more, but what they can do is they can really negate your momentum, which, oh, see, look at that damage I just took. I'm gonna probably die. Oof. Hilarious. It's like I fell to my death. So you can still die in Legendary with this. The other thing is, as you go through these journeys, you can see I'm on journey mission 6, pretty far along. So let's go back to the White House real quick, since we saw that. if I go run through heroic content on my own, I'm fine. And legendary, even like G-Man on DUA, like if, even if somebody else's skills, but if they're running DPS and you're running this build, you'll help keep them alive. They just can't be like overly crazy, like face tanky, like, right? It's not perfect, but it certainly helps. So let's look at how the journeys benefit you here and how the modifiers benefit you. So if we go back into the build, you can be without modifiers. This will still work, right? So if you're not comfortable with modifiers because it's making it too hard, because you're kind of advanced, then it's all right. Like, play to what excites you. So we'll talk first. Everybody starts off with the global modifier. As long as you have it turned on, you have this rogue momentum global modifier. We talked about this a little bit in the last one. There's lots of videos on it now. But you get these bonuses as you eliminate enemies with kills, multi-kills, headshots. And there's like a little meter on your HUD that ramps up, and there's different tiers on it, up to tier 5. So as that increases, you get more weapon and skill damage. So if you notice, like, that's consistent through most of these. You increase your weapon skill damage, the more kills you get. You can get a skill overcharge when you get to unstoppable. So if you get that, then your skills put out even more damage. Plus you get movement speed, rate of fire. You'll see really fast reloads and stuff like that. Those blacklisted enemies I talked about, they're randomly, and they provide bonus momentum and 10% weapon handling and crit hit chance when killed. But if you take damage, it drains your momentum up to 15% faster for 5 seconds. So you don't want to leave them out unattended, because if they take shots at you, it could make it harder to keep those stacks. On legendary, you can, especially with something like this where it's taking longer to down an enemy, you could lose it. But in like heroic or challenging content, might not be as noticeable. So then when you jump into advancing your journey, let's talk about that before jumping into the actual modifiers. So out the gate, one of the things they did to improve from last season is 1 and 2 are geared towards newer players. And I think that's great. They did this last season as well, but everybody had to do it to advance to 3. And this is really just to get you comfortable with different things in the game, give you some season XP and some, whatever, like components, stuff like that, field proficiency caches. However, again, if you're new, we're a weekend, a lot of folks already know this, but 1 and 3 run simultaneously. So you don't have to do anything for 1 and 2. You'll probably just do them by doing things in general. However, you do get over 2,600 season XP for completing the journeys. So it is a good idea to still figure out how you're going to squeeze them in there. So do some of these things, especially if you're a higher shade level. Like, it's not a big deal for you to knock some of these out in advance of the season. Where it finally gets going is with Journey 3, which is also in theory your first journey. When you finish through these, you only have to do 6 out of the 8 to advance. Accumulate momentum 2, accumulate momentum reach tier 2. That's not too hard to do. As you're getting familiar with it, it might seem weird, but that's this meter going up. Maintaining momentum tier 2 for 60 seconds. You have these all the way through, like maintaining like tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. What's weird is outside of tier 2, I've had a tough time maintaining it. So I don't know, it just kind of happened. But it worked. Eliminating hostiles, 500 of them, yeah, do it. But you're taking out NPCs nonstop. Totally achievable. Eliminate elites, same thing. Those are the yellow bars. With headshots, aim for the head, or you could use a determined build of some sort. And I think this is one where you can go cheese at the range. We can talk about that. Double kills, right? Seeker Mines will help here. Eliminate with explosives. Eliminate using skills, right? A bunch of these are just really not too bad. 40 out of 40, like you can do this super quick with a skill build. When you do this, you'll unlock your first 3 passive modifiers, which are explosive amp, critical recovery, critical momentum. We'll go through those in a minute. Journey 4, again, same thing. Like, you have to restore armor via critical recovery. That's one of the modifiers you just unlocked. from Journey 3. So we'll talk about this. This is more of like the crit hits you get on things will help you recover armor as well. So you have a couple ways to do it, even if you're not using a skill build. Seeker Mine kills. Blacklist accounts 2 helps you get through it. This is another thing I think you can do at the range. Frenzied Hostiles, these are the guys, they'll kind of have like a red glow, like pulsating glow on them. And they move around frantically. They tuck and roll a little bit more, as I've noticed. Maybe it's just my perception, but you definitely want to try and focus on them too. And I think that they give you a little bit more of a momentum boost. Double kills explosive. So momentum decay. So when you have that momentum, those tiers, it decays over time. All this wants you to do is keep those stacks up. You don't have to achieve the 600 and like straight through single play. It just means like it'll accrue over time. So if you end up like running into like a rogue band on the streets, you take them out, you'll probably get some momentum. It'll decay until you run into your next thing. So if you're running especially like at challenging or hard level on your global settings, then you might not run into as many folks or many NPCs or whatever, and so you'll get to it. It's not a big deal. Eliminate blacklisted hostiles. It's 100 of them. Again, it's random. This is something you can do at the range. As you can see here, maintain momentum tier 2 for 120 seconds. Like, I think you actually have to be in the range, and I'll show you on the range why, but like be in the tier 2 range for it. So like I've often been well above that for long periods of time, and I don't achieve it, but I think I actually have to be within the bar, which is harder to do than it seems. So that's why this one's not completed for me, but the rest of these have been. No big deal. Again, perform headshot kills to boost momentum. I think you can do this with a determined build at the range. From this one, you get Overdrive, which is an active modifier, and then 2 passives, Momentum Surge and Explosive Expertise. So this gives you your first active modifier, and they each have their own pros and cons. These are the things you trigger, and then they have a cooldown period. We'll go over that, and then a huge frustration with it that you will learn to hate. And then 5, this is where I'm most recently unlocked. Vendetta is the active, and then you get this Reaper scan, and then Aggressive Drone. Aggressive Drone I'll use with this build, and it makes a big difference, but this is why my drone doesn't last a long time. We'll go over that in a minute. And then as you move on, you unlock more, right? So the next will be the Tactical Supremacy, which is the last active modifier, 2 more passives, and then you finish it out with 3 more passives. So more passive modifiers, I believe, this season than the last. There were 9, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so there's 12 this season. So let's take a look at that. And I know my modifiers are wrong because of something I was doing at the range. So I have ended on. I don't have these all set right at the moment. But let's go ahead and take a look at these. So Overdrive is the first one you'll eventually get from, I like how it says it's passive, but it's really the active modifier. So this will instantly max out your rogue momentum. So this would be like you've cooled down, but you realize you have a bunch of NPCs to take on. This is a good thing to trigger. It'll give you all of that stuff, and for 10 seconds you get an extra bonus of weapon damage, skill damage, rate of fire, and unlimited ammo supply, which is silly. It's 10 seconds. Like even if you're running a SMG with a high rate of fire, you're going to get through maybe 2 mags, but only putting out limited damage. Penalties: when it ends, your momentum gains are reduced by 70% for 3 minutes. Or not 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, whatever. Math is hard. So, but that's your cooldown period. But as long as you have that momentum up and you keep making the kills, you'll keep it there. That part about it is not bad. I haven't gotten to this one yet, so I haven't used it. But this increases all your equipped passive modifiers for a limited time. Your momentum won't increase or may be canceled if at the ultimate tier while this is active. But certain actions can increase it. So granted bonuses all passive modifier effects are increased by 100%. Headshot kills add 2 seconds, while skill kills add 1, and it can be extended by a maximum of 25 seconds. So it's not unlimited, but you can extend it up to 25 seconds, which is cool. No momentum gain while active. So you need to make sure that you've got those stacks up all the way before you trigger this. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on damage, movement, reload, all those things. It's only a 1 minute cooldown though, so it's not the worst. And then Vendetta is what I've been using most recently. This one's interesting because it marks multiple enemies for elimination, and you have to use one of your primary weapons. It could be primary, secondary, skill, or pistol. So you'll see like what looks like a little AR, a pistol, or a little symbol that looks like a skill, like a gear mod for a skill. And so if you don't kill the targets with those, it reduces your armor. You take damage. And so with this skill build I have on, it kind of offsets that. So it doesn't matter what I take the NPCs out with. It'll just offset that damage. But the bonuses you get for eliminating them is you get bonus armor, damage reduction, and bonus armor for these periods of time. So if you do it right, like you can add bonus armor for 10 seconds, which is great. But penalties, again, if you fail to eliminate a marked enemy using this specific method, you lose 15% armor. So if you don't have a way to regen it, like it'll slowly chip away at your armor. So you have to be careful if you use this modifier and you're not, you don't have anything that regenerates armor for you, because you'll end up using medkits, or you have to make sure that you're willing to switch between those things. And it's pretty fast. It's got a fast cooldown. It's 30 seconds. The mark duration is 30 seconds. So that's what I like about it. At least for the skill build, it's been really beneficial. On the passive side, we'll just pop into some of these. This is great for Seekers. Deals double damage to blacklisted enemies. Again, only on the blacklisted, so you're using a slot to only take out a limited number of NPCs. But it can be beneficial because those blacklisted enemies double count for your momentum. But explosive skill kills reduce the cooldown of that skill by 30% if you score a multi-kill using clustered Seeker mines. That can be beneficial. It can get that cooldown rate much faster. So that's kind of nice. Aggressive drone, this is one I was talking about that I recently unlocked. Your striker drone's damage is increased by 50%, but your duration is reduced by 40%. That's why the drone doesn't last as long. You need to make sure you have enough skill haste and something to support you if it goes down quickly. So it's a trade-off, but you want that extra damage output for that armor regen and to actually take down enemies. Critical momentum, any crit hits have a 40% chance to grant you more momentum. Again, this is one you get early on, so it's nice to use because if you're running something that has a good crit chance on it, you're gonna hit that pretty decently, and it'll keep building up your momentum. And that's even without killing an enemy, right? So even if it's taking a bunch of shots to take them down, if you're getting those crit hits and you're achieving this unlock, then it'll work. Critical recovery, similar. Crit hits restore 0.5% of your maximum armor. So damaging those enemies will help recover that armor if it's coming down, as long as you're like DPS. So if you're running DPS, this is beneficial. This is beneficial. Having a teammate that's maybe running the skill build that I showed is beneficial. I haven't got to these yet, but your shield skill base health by 100%. So if you want to be tanky, this could be kind of a cool thing to use. Microwave coils. So if you're using a pulse, they'll burn. That'll be interesting to see. Status effects will come in handy there. So maybe that's where this Refactor gear set will help. Momentum surge. Kills with skills double momentum gain. So running this with like that aggressive drone, on a skill build helps because you'll get that momentum gain and you'll benefit from it. If you use the decoy here, it does a bright flash, blinding up to 2 hostiles targeting it, and you get 5% bonus momentum. It's a good range, 40 meters. It'd be better if it blinded them all. Take what you can get for now. Reactive reinforcement, 5% of your max armor when your shield takes damage. I think as you get the Oxpecker, And shield, you run this maybe with the other shield. This seems like it'll be a good offset with the Oxpecker, which depletes your shield and then whatever damage your Oxpecker is putting out. I haven't got the Oxpecker yet, so we'll see. And it's fun to say. It's word, just to be clear. Reaper scan, so if you use a pulse, it just increases the chance of them getting a blacklist mark. So if you want to take advantage of killing blacklisted enemies, this is useful. So I was using this because it's an achievement in the journey. That's why I have it on right now. And then rigged battery, drones that are destroyed or dismantled apply shock to 2 nearby enemies. So it's kind of like this overclocked. So if you're running the drone a lot, this could be beneficial to have, because if it gets destroyed or breaks down near them, it'll at least shock them and give you a chance to, get some shots on them or something else. So that's all the passives right now. So for what I'm running, I definitely like having aggressive drone. This is good. Momentum surge. I only needed this because I'm trying to unlock some stuff, but I do like critical recovery or critical momentum. And if I was running a different skill build with explosives, these can be beneficial. So let's talk a little bit about the journeys again. We'll go back over to those. So what I was talking about earlier about cheesing some things. So activate Vendetta, eliminate marked hostiles. You can do this at the range. That's primarily what I've done here. It's kind of boring, but it sometimes is easier to do some of these things this way than to do it out on the streets, especially if you're just trying to get these things unlocked. This one is kind of a pain because you have to use the correct weapon while Vendetta is active. This one will take longer to achieve. I'll eventually get it. Eliminate hostiles with aggressive drone. You can do this on the range. This one, again, you could use this one on the streets. It'll probably work okay if you're just doing control points, if you're just letting the skills do the work. Reaper scan, I've done all this at the range. Here's another one of those maintain momentum tier 4 for 240 seconds. I got 0, but I was maxed out, preventing my momentum decay. I hit 5 and eliminate 5 hostiles. You have to do this 20 times. It's no problem. And then eliminate blacklisted hostiles. Cool. So we can do that. So when we talk about some of this range cheesing, for some of these, I know there were some of the other ones with the headshots. A build you can use is something like this. So use, sharpshooter. This is just if you're out on the streets, but you need a decent enough marksman rifle with determined on it. You could also carry the harvest with determined. The profit's a joke. Don't ever use the profit. It's only good for one shot. In this case, this is a hodgepodge, right? So Ninja Bike with, these are from last season, two breaking points. So I get 3 pieces here, technically. 25% marksman rifle, plus I get headshot damage and weapon handling, which helps. And then I have what's essentially 3 hot shots. So I get 30% headshot damage, 30% weapon handling, and 30% marksman rifle. A chain killer with headshot damage on it, and perfect headhunter. That's something along these lines. You could do it with all yellow gear too, like just mix and match where you want to have the highest amount of headshot output. For this, in this case, I usually have like a healing drone and a reviver. But to do some of what I was doing last night, I will grab this and then grab this. Right. Okay, cool. And then just kind of come on over here. Like I've already got all these as blacklisted. Dang it. And so essentially you can use this entire range for everything. All right, so I can just be like, oh, well, whatever. These are yellows. It's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and use the pulse here. Oh, so see, it gave me 1 blacklisted. All right, now I got my stack anyways. And so like when you're doing that headshot one, these are all headshots. Every one of these are headshots. And you can see how my momentum's going up. Every shot. Ow. You can hear it going. Momentum's almost maxed out. There, now I'm unstoppable. Let's do this. And so you see there's those markers. But look at that damage I just took. Took more. That one's a primary weapon one. So there, look at that bonus armor I just got. Cool. Now I can send my drone out. Go for those reds, right? Let's use that pulse again. See if I can get some... Oh, there's some blacklisted. That counts. That counts. Just keep my stacks up. Now, if I was still doing that DK thing, we would see it counting all those up. But you see there, I just got the hostile drone kill. That one's blacklisted too, so... Boom. Alright, that got done. I got... Oh, look, there's another blacklisted. Get those. So, right, this is not exciting by any means, but you can see that I'm able to... Oh, and I can activate this again. Bam, there's some bonus armor. Bonus armor. And so you can see that momentum starting to go down a little bit. That would be the DK. Oh, I didn't get any. Oh, I did. Be nice to get another blacklisted. That's a bummer. I'm not getting any blacklisted. Vendetta should come back here shortly. Then there goes my drone because it's short-lived, unfortunately. Wow. Makes it hard to really show off here. But I think you get the gist of it. I don't need to sit here and make you go through my whole journey on this. Alright. Grab some ammo. Alright, so now let's go back out into real world with the skill build. Oh, but I don't want to use that pulse. Do I? Nah. So let's pick something different. I think I'll be okay there, so let's make sure we can keep our momentum up. Great. And then we'll go back over to one of my favorite places. I don't know why I have like my favorite control points, just because I know kind of the routine for them, which is silly. That just means you're grinding. But if you need gear or whatever else, it's not so bad. Oh, and I still have, alright, let's get these guys going. I'm stuck. That guy. Can't see anything. Get that momentum climbing. Uh-oh. Get away from me. But look at that damage I can take. As long as my... Aye.
Vital signs critical.
Got some bonus armor for using the right weapon. momentum's not quite maxed out. Look how fast I run. I waddle like a duck. I mean, I do miss out on some damage with using the green gear, the Refactor, mostly because I don't get to run glass cannon like I typically would here if you're doing control points. Train's already gone. No. Ow.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Friendly combatants detected.
Not great. We got a resource convoy coming. Oh, I'm terrible. It's gonna hurt. Boom. I get that medic. I need to let my drone do the work. I need this. Oh, there's my drone. See, now I've lost both my skills. This is nice because you can be more aggressive, but you don't have to use... I mean, I am using an exotic backpack, but I'm not using, like, Memento, where usually you would need that so you can get some armor regen and extra weapon damage.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Oh boy. Frenzied.
Combatants detected.
Not great. I'm gonna die.
Agent down.
See, not perfect. I wasn't getting the skill hits on them because my turret wasn't able to hit them. Just pick me up already before I die.
Hostile detected. Friendly combatants detected. Friendly combatants. Supply access unlocked. Incoming hostiles detected.
Come on out.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Incoming hostiles detected.
Wow. All right then. That worked. Oof. Feel like there might be some trouble up here. All right, all right, all right.
Friendly combatants detected.
Thanks for showing up. You really saved us back there. You really
Let's
came
grab this
through.
loot and then we'll kind of talk again about, real quick, the things you run into with really hard to kill things, which is back under the modifier. So we kind of see how with some of the new gear and some builds, you can take advantage of the current season's modifiers. I was a little worried, like there was some stuff from last season's modifiers I really liked, but I found that they seem to have replaced those with some pretty good things. So I'm happy about that. We'll come back over here and see if we can demonstrate this a little bit better on DUA. So the thing I want to show here is when we go back up to active, what you really want to see is hostile. So hostile modifier, frenzy. Enemies grow more aggressive and resilient, matching your rising momentum. Frenzied enemies boast increased rate of fire, movement speed, rapid armor health regen. Higher season progression increases the number of frenzied enemies and the potency of their buffs. So when you finish that chapter 3, that's the first thing you see. 20% rate of fire, 20% movement speed, 5% per second armor health regen. And then it builds up. Chapter 4 goes up to 7% armor regen. Chapter 5 and onwards, where I am 10% per second armor health regen, and they're at a 30% rate of fire and 30% movement speed. This is why I say they move like crazy. So what can happen here is that frenzied, it's not just the human-like NPCs, it is also the mini-tanks and the dogs and drones, and all of that stuff falls into that. So it's not just the human-based NPCs. And the reason that this is so important to point out is when you're feeling real tough with this build, and you're out there, taking on the world, feeling like, oh man, I'm unstoppable, I'm all set for legendary. Well, wait till you come across a mini tank that's frenzied. Like this yellow one right here. It will probably repair faster than I can cause damage to it. I mean, look, my drone, every time my drone pauses, it heals itself right back up. And that is just brutal. And then if I shoot it, I mean, it's like I'm doing nothing. My turret's wailing on it. It's doing nothing. So this is what you have to watch for. Like I'm going to do something like that, which is great. The other thing is healing stations that get put down for those healers. They are also potentially get the frenzied thing. And so like you have to like really work in conjunction if you're solo with your skills to do this. This is why you want to have play in a group. And I think what I'm really seeing so far in this season is their focus on that. Like make it more social, co-op, work with each other, like connect with randoms, right? You never know who you might play with. I love doing solo content. I mean, there's just times I don't really want to do stuff with others. Some of it is personal challenges, like doing legendary solo is a personal challenge. Like I really enjoy that aspect of the game, like doing something that is incredibly difficult in many cases as a group is even harder as an individual. So I like to find new ways, new builds. So I kind of feel like nothing's impossible if given the right things, but this is just ridiculous. Look at that. I can just go through all of my ammo. I mean, eventually I will chip it down, but how much damage do I have to take in the process? If I didn't have this armor regen from the skill damage, there's no way. And then of course I just took damage, but look, I got all my armor back. It's so crazy. Oh boy, no. Oh, I caught that grenade in the face. Nothing was going to save me there. So at least there you saw what happens generally with that. Now, if we come back here, I've lost everything, right? So let's take a look at one of these other modifier sets. We'll go to this kind of safety net build of mine. Now let's change up these modifiers just slightly. So we're going to go with this overdrive here just to show what that does. I am not using any skills because I've got none. Whoa. Kill skills. Okay, let's, I'm not killing with skills. Bummer. Yeah, so this is kind of a pain because I don't really have anything. I mean, I could keep that. I mean, usually if you're running this solo anyways, a reviver is kind of pointless. All it does is prolong your death. So I could do this, and let's see what happens. Okay.
You've got your objective.
Now this is not my highest damage output build by far, and you know, missing out on those long range damage from the last season. Okay, so I've got nothing here. Let's hit overdrive. Uh-oh, it's not triggering. Oh, that's a bummer. See, this is kind of glitchy. So one of the problems, though, is you see how it's like the up on your D-pad? So the annoying thing I was going to show is, because this one is such a long cooldown, what'll happen is you might be trying to save it, or it just came back, and you're like, oh, cool, I want to save it for later when my momentum goes way down. Oh. I don't know why this won't activate. Oh. At least this has enough damage to take out a mini tank. And you can see me getting some armor back when I get those crit hits. But still, my momentum is still pretty low. I don't understand why I'm not able to... I need to run for my life. Who's over there? Not great. I don't want to be stuck with a bunch of yellows here at the end. Damn, this yellow grenader. It's gonna make my life a nightmare. Got the momentum I needed. Got some frenzied folks. Oh, jeez. Nope. Where'd that grenader go? Oh, look, he got all of his armor back. I bet I had broken. Because he's a jerk. Comes the Chungalinas. See how we do here. There we go. So see, look at that. I got the full momentum. He's frenzied. He's dead, so I don't care. But see, it pays off to use that modifier so you can get that damage out. Uh-oh. Oh. Where are you? No. Don't want this to cool down too quick. Now, granted, I'm not making any real progress against my journey, which is kind of a pain. Okay, good. I got the healing station. See some frenzied chungas. Let's see, if I was in DPS like right here, this would take forever. I did clears with just skills, but alright, we won't necessarily go all the way through Legendary, but it's kind of fun. Especially when you get to see it through a different lens. But I just don't have that momentum stack up all the way, which missing out on that rapid fire, and at least I can move quickly. We'll go as far as we can until I die. Should probably be soon. Because it wasn't my intention to make it this far anyways. Damn, snipers are so good at taking my shield down. I'll take that. I didn't realize he was blacklisted. I'm gonna die. Can't survive without that. Oof. That could not have come at a better time. Wow. I do love this fast movement. Imagine doing this with like Hunter Shuri, with like the Lady's Death or something like that. Like something where you can really take advantage of like, ooh. But see, look at that damage output. That's so nice. Gotta keep that momentum going. Oof. Nope. We're out of ammo. I get that healer. Shoot. Can't see anything. Look at that garbage. I'm putting out a decent amount of damage, but I cannot take that mini tank down. Oof. "12 rounds to get this guy." It's my SMG ain't gonna reach. I shouldn't say ain't. It won't. Alright. Let's give it a break here. Oh. Wow. Took way longer than it should have. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Come on back. Hey. All right. Moving along faster than I thought. All the med kits. I might die here. What am I doing? Snipers. Trying to figure out why the yellow sniper gets out 2 drones. Noticed that a few times that the snipers have more drones than usual. Keep that stack going. Oh. Getting the yellow healer down is a pretty good thing. Nope. Red healer's down. Where'd that red grenader go? There it is. See how fast those guys are? Oh my goodness. And now I'm stuck. Whew. At least I'm getting some blacklisted hostiles taken down. Whoa. Ugh, losing stacks. It's like the same pain as Striker. Want to keep your stacks up as long as you can, but easy to kill guy first. Ugh. Come on. I love that they can just get shot and have no problems. Oof. So many grenaders, so little time.
Friendly KIA. Target down.
I'm not expecting any. What a pain. Oh my gosh. Oh, so there we go. That's the thing I was complaining about. You want to inspect your gear before you pick it up? I just triggered the thing. And now it's got a 150-second cooldown. And I got no benefit from it. Other than the fact that I filled up my thing. Come on. So, of course. Give me a break. So there's an interesting option here. Sometimes I like to switch up to something like this, especially these modifiers, because I won't actually have a drone helping me, which is fine. But those stacks from the pestilence help out when you're solo through here. Of course, I'm losing some of my overdrive. See what we can do. Definitely the goal is to get one of them down. Wow, they shorted me. Never a good thing. Well, and the drawbacks to this, as I now realize, is I can't control their healing, right? Like they heal themselves, and because of that, it makes it much harder to kill them.
Vital signs critical.
Jeez. Come on. Why is my drone outside? Alright, so see, like, I'm gonna need overdrive here, because... Come on.
Detected.
He's not causing any damage, that guy. I'm gonna die.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Ridiculous. Oh,
Agent
it's gonna be
incapacitated.
game over for me here, because... Oh, boy. Come on.
Detected. Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh,
Agent killed.
oh, there we go. I should have stuck with something more potent like I had. Alright, that's it. I think we've been through the modifiers, we've been through the skill build, we've been through the journeys, you've seen the increased challenge you get from it. It's definitely makes it a lot harder, but in a good way. Like, I like the challenge. You know, some folks get complacent, some people like it to just kind of be the way it always is. But I don't know, like, you know, you want it to go out and be fun, and I don't know, find new ways to blow things up and destroy things. That's kind of how I look at it. Let's do this. Explosive. And then I'm not going to use that or that. I got 3 of those. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Huh. I probably need the one that gives me health. There we go. And stuff's gonna wear out before I get up here.
Reinforcements incoming.
Oh, alright. That's what I get for being cocky. Well, cool. There you go. I won't waste any more time. Get out there, get playing. Rewatch the part on the build if you want to try that out. Let me know how it works for you. I guess I didn't really fully show it out there in the wild, but I did a little bit. Like I said, you can run pretty much all heroic content with it. You can certainly run it as a teammate in Legendary, and your team will thank you for it. Here it is one last time. Do this, run, as you advance through your journeys, you'll unlock the things you need here. Aggressive drone. And then, what did we say? It's one of these, right? Critical momentum and crit hits. Well, you could probably leave it here. I mean, you're already getting armor, so maybe just keep it on that for now until you can get something like this, or one of these others that helps you out. So, all right, have fun. Be well.